In this video, I'm going to show you how to plant peas, tell you when to plant them, and give you an overall view of what to expect as they grow. Peas are the very first thing we plant in our garden. We're in Zone 6B and we plant our peas in early to mid-March. We plant our peas about 1 inch deep and about 2 inches apart, and I just use my index finger to measure the distance between the peas. Since we have very loose soil, I just push the peas down into the soil about 1 inch. Once I have all of the peas planted, I give it a good watering and try not to let the soil dry out until they sprout. How long it takes your peas to sprout depends a lot on soil temperature. This time it took our peas a little less than 2 weeks to sprout. Peas really don't require a lot of fertilizer, but if you're going to fertilize them, I would only fertilize them once when they're a couple of inches tall, and not any more after that. Peas require something to climb on, and in this case I'm using one of our large tomato cages for them to climb on, but just about any trellis should work. Peas can withstand temperatures around freezing, but a hard freeze can damage or kill them. A hard freeze is any temperature that goes below 28 degrees Fahrenheit or -3 Celsius. Whenever the weather forecast calls for freezing temperatures, I just cover our peas up with a little straw and then uncover them the next morning after the temperature is warmed up. Once the weather starts to warm up, peas can grow pretty quickly and they'll soon start to cover your trellis. The tomato cage that we're using as a trellis is 5 feet tall, and as you'll soon see, the peas grew much taller than that. Since they are a spring crop and we usually have plenty of rain in the spring, watering usually isn't much of a problem early on. We usually don't have to water them much at all early unless it's a particularly dry spring. After the plants are about 3 or 4 feet tall, you'll start to notice little sprouts where the leaves make contact with the stem, and that's where your peas will form. Not long after those little sprouts start to form, you'll notice little buds, and soon after that you'll notice blooms. As you can see, sugar snap peas can produce a lot of blooms, and each one of those little blooms will produce a little pea pod. Our sugar snap peas grew well beyond the 5-foot tomato cage that I had them growing on, and a trellis that was 7 to 8 feet tall would have worked much better. The taller that your peas get, the more attention you have to give to watering because more vegetation requires more water. Once you start noticing little pea pods, just keep an eye on them, and once they get full and plump, they're ready to harvest. Peas grow best in temperatures that don't exceed 70 degrees, so once those late spring temperatures start to rise, it can be a little stressful on the plants. That's usually about the peak of our harvest, so too much heat too early can ruin a good pea crop. If the temperature gets very warm, I've found that I can prolong the harvest by watering twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Because peas are harvested so early and they don't like much heat, it leaves plenty of time for another crop after them, such as cucumbers. Since cucumbers are a great crop to grow on a trellis also, they're an excellent crop to grow right after peas. Keep in mind that peas do well in full sun and well-drained soil. You should be ready to start harvesting your sugar snap peas about 3 weeks after the first flowers appear. If you like to grow sugar snap peas, let us know about it down in the comments. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.